My name is Conzuelo Rivas. I'm a psychologist. I did recently a master in LSE. I am from Chile, Santiago, and most of the time I try to research or focus on the caregiver system, focus on informality because in Chile we have a high level of informality in terms of caregivers. Most of the time, we need to think that in long-term care services, there is, especially in Latin America, a high level of informality, and this means like most of the time, family is taking care of the older person with a high level of needs. But most of the time, like these informal cares are not seen like workers, even when they are providing in some way, like try to fulfill the needs of the person. And then, so in my case, my studies are more focused on how to improve the well-being of those family members who are providing this care. Because in Latin America we have little budget in terms of like trying to provide more resources, we are very focused on the welfare package of social network support to support the family caregivers. So in my case, I'm trying to identify how the social support is providing some help for family carriers, or otherwise it's like being a tool for oppression or subordination of these family carers. And when I'm talking about oppression, maybe probably could sound like very technical, but it's like how they are thinking their jobs or their role as a carer as something that they could choose to do or not. Actually, now I think it's a priority because well, we changed our government like 2 years ago, and one of the priorities was doing a new social care system. But the situation is that we don't have too much resources for doing that, and we are trying to create new innovation in terms of like how to do something new with the things that we have. No, I would say that one of the most important barriers in terms of like how to change or how to improve the policy system there is the cultural barriers in the global south is the familism. So how the family is taking care of all the person and try to reduce the exposure to external care, no external support. And I think that that is one of the biggest barriers in terms of like trying to change the system and try to incorporate more formal workers and in the scenario. Yeah, I would say at the beginning, like, okay, no, we are struggling with a lot of like limited budget, and but I think that in general we are trying to do, or we are like in the right path. We are not only, for example, providing vouchers, even when like is with little resources, like £30 per month. It's not that much, but I think that is a way to identify that as a family carer you have benefit. And also, we have this domiciliary care from municipalities that are taking care of, trying to provide formal assistance in their places. So it's behind that this idea that, well, you need to age in your place, and you need to have, in some sense, help when you are doing the job that you are doing as a carer. So I think that we are in the right path, but we need to looking for new ideas and trying to also to provide this idea that it's important to invest even when you are having like on the daily basis limited budget. You need to invest in this new care system. I think that there is a lot of center of social studies in Chile that now are more focused on the care system, trying to identify or trying to, as this conference said, no, like trying to provide evidence for new policies, and in that sense, is trying to also identify how the care economy and this idea of the return of doing or investing in the care system is important, but also is important even when you are not having return, no? In terms of like maybe economic return, in terms of when you are investing in the well-being not only of older person but also the carers. And I think that yeah, we are like, and in terms of maybe the changes could be that we are identifying the priorities in some sense. Um, Not only in terms of like the feasibility of the system, but also the trying to improve the dignity of the people who are in care homes, who are uh, taking care of them in their places. I would say that we have a lot of lack of information in terms of the data. Most of the time, we are basing our research in terms of the qualitative or exploring like not biggest the biggest data sets. And so I think that one biggest priority is trying to provide more national data sets in terms of like identifying the caregivers, but also the older person who are trying to have more well-being when they are in their places. And also like this mix of um, information not only from the household home but also the care homes. And that is one priority. And the second one I think is more in terms of like the economic cost and the benefit of doing new policies. And most of the time when you are from the global south, you are expecting like trying to extrapolate some policies from the global now, global south, global north, like for example from the UK, but you are not identifying like it is important to take care of the context when you are trying to do that policy. And in that sense, you need to have like more resources in terms of like evaluating the project and the cost benefits. And I think that that is a priority. In Chile, we have done a lot of collaboration in South America actually. Like for example, we are trying to provide or trying to extrapolate the policy of manzanas del cuidado, which means like a caring neighborhood, to Chile. But I think that we need to go further. And the way to do that is to assist into these conferences to identify like, okay, like it's not only South America, but also there are other countries who are trying to do the same. Um, and also, last thing is to the other way around, to learning maybe uh, European countries from the global south. No, it's one of the things that I talk in my presentation, like how we could improve also like the quality of the policies here and trying to engage like the community-based policies, learning from the global south and learning from countries like in Chile where you have really good community-based interventions. No.